The objective of this lesson is to be able to find a percentage of an amount using simple percentages. So for example, you'll be able to find 10% of 25, 5% of 60, 31% of 120. We're going to start off by finding 10% of an amount. So there are 10 lots of 10% in 100%. So to find 10%, we are going to divide the total by 10. For example, let's find 10% of 430. 430 divided by 10 is 43. So 10% of 430 is equal to 43. Once you've found 10%, you can use that to find multiples of 10%. We're going to do that by finding 10% first, then we're going to multiply that up to get your answer. So for example, if you want to find 30% of 760, the first thing to do is find 10% by dividing by 10. So that gives us an answer of 76. Now 30% is made up of 3 10%. So our final answer is going to be 3 times 76, giving us 228. So let's try this one again. Remember, to find a multiple of 10%, we're going to find 10% first, then multiply to get the answer. So we want 70% of 52. 10% of 52 is equal to 52 divided by 10, which is 5.2. There are 7 10% in 70%, so we're going to take that answer, times it by 7, and we get 36.4. Pause the video and have a go at these practice questions. The answers will appear shortly. Once you've found 10% of an amount, you can use this to find 5%. 5% is half of 10%, so to find 5%, you first find 10% and then you half it. So for example, let's find 5% of 710. 10% of 710 is 710 divided by 10, giving you 71. 5% is half of this, which equals 35.5. Another reasonably easy percentage to find is 1%. So there are 100 lots of 1% in 100%. So to find 1%, we are going to divide by 100. For example, let's find 1% of 60. So 1% of 60 is going to be equal to 60 divided by 100, which is 0.6. Once you can find 10%, 5% and 1%, you can bring these together to find other more complicated percentages. So for example, let's find 21% of 320. Well, we can find 10% by doing 320 divided by 10 to give 32. We can also find 1% of 320 by dividing by 100 to give 3.2. Now 21%, we can make that up by using two 10% and a 1%. Now we know what 10% and 1% of 320 are, so let's put them in. So 21% of 320 must be the same as 2 lots of 32 plus 3.2, giving us an answer of 67.2. Let's try that with another example. This time we're going to find 65% of 80. Well, we can find 10% of 80 by doing 80 divided by 10, giving us an answer of 8. This time we're going to find 5%. We know from before that 5% of an amount is half of 10%. So 5% is going to be half of 8, which is 4. Now 65% is 6 times 10% plus 5%. So to find 65% of 80, we're going to do 6 times 8 and then add on the 4, giving us an answer of 52. Pause the video and have a go at these practice questions. The answers will appear at the end of the video.